back to my channel. Welcome back to a brand new vlog. Today's vlog is all about time management, and I'm on my way to work, and that's why I think I'm going to give you guys my 3 top techniques, tips for effective time management. Please note, unfortunately, I'm only good at using these in my work life. I'm still struggling with good time management when it comes to my personal life. But yeah, if you just want to increase your productivity, kind of really go all in at work or at school, manage your time better, I think these 3 techniques that I'm about to let you in on in today's vlog will really help. Before we leave quickly, my polo neck is from Mango. My skirt is from Fushini. This leather bag is from Matsiriso. It's a toffee leather bag. My shoes are from a boutique at Nickelway in Bryanston. I think I got them in 2018, so quite a while back. And I really love these shoes. And then my earrings are these Bottega dupes. Glasses are Zeets. Let's go to the office. Okay people, I asked on Sunday what you guys would like to see from me, so I'm going to do time management as I told you guys. These are the 3 specific techniques that I have incorporated into my daily routine to help me with my time management, which is something that I swear since I was in varsity I really have struggled with perfecting. So I understand everybody who struggles with time management, but as I have grown more comfortable in the way that I work, how fast I work, how I do specific things, I've been able to better predict how I deal with certain things, how long I take with regard to certain things. And basically it is a work in progress that I'm still tweaking to this day, but my current schedule incorporates these 3 techniques. The first one is called strategic time blocking. Some people just know it as time blocking. The second is called the Eisenhower matrix. It is a matrix or a time management method that was pioneered by Stephen Covey in his critically acclaimed book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And the third time management technique that I use is called the Pomodoro technique. So I used to have Instagram before I deactivated my social media, and I used to speak quite a lot about these time management techniques. Shout out to you if you were part of my closed group. I talked about all things productivity and things that were helping me with my productivity. So strategic time blocking, let me tell you what it is first. Okay, so strategic time blocking is a time management strategy where you schedule out every part of your day, and you do this by breaking up your day or even your week into bite-sized time slots. So I'll put up a diagram on the screen of what it normally looks like, but basically it's large chunks of your day that you have split up into specific tasks, and if you do this on a weekly basis, it's chunks of your week dedicated to specific things. The main aim of this is to work on your tasks uninterrupted, and it's also to reduce context switching. So I think a lot of us, particularly young professionals, will know you sit down on your desk to do something that requires focus, and then you get an email, and the email is asking you about something that you did last week, or it asks you, hey, can you call so and so and ask them to get onto this call? Did you do 1 2 3? And then next thing you know, you're off doing something else, and you are neglecting the primary task at hand. So time blocking allows you to dedicate yourself to a specific task, reduce task switching, because this is how you're going to be able to fit everything in. So my time blocking for each day. I have 3 blocks. I've got one from about 6 to 9 or 5 to 9, depending on which season it is, and then one from 9:30 to 5 o'clock, and then one from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. So between 6 and 9, that's when I wake up, I make my bed, I meditate, I journal, I make breakfast, take the dog for a walk, get ready. I've streamlined my routine such that I don't take more than an hour, 15 minutes to get ready. The breakfasts that I make, they never take more than 30 to 45 minutes. I don't walk my dog for longer than a specific amount of time. I just do it twice a day instead of once a day for a long period of time. And so because of that, everything is able to comfortably fit into this 3-hour window, this 3-hour time block that I've got at the start of my day. So I don't check emails during that time. I don't do work during that time unless I've got a really, really strict deadline, like you guys would have seen in last week's vlog. But in terms of my daily routine, these 3 hours are dedicated specifically to that. And then I've got the time block from 9:30 to 5. This is on a normal work day. This is not on days where I've got court or days where I've got just drafting after drafting after drafting. This is just a normal day where I'm doing research, I'm answering emails, I'm drafting, I'm editing, I'm typing. And by editing, I mean editing a document or a draft, not editing my YouTube vlogs. And so then I will then strategically time block the hours within that time window. So from 9:30 to 10, I know that's the hour that I open my laptop, I answer emails, I get onto calls, I look at the number of WhatsApp groups. Guys, when did we start doing so many WhatsApp groups for every single matter, every single committee, every single thing has a WhatsApp group. So I will look at those WhatsApp groups within that window, and then follow-up calls, follow-up emails. That is the time for that. So that means I'm not getting onto emails, answering emails during time that I need to focus. And then from 10 o'clock to 11:15, that's normally like tea or coffee break. That's in the legal fraternity, that's well known as like tea time, whether you're in court or you're in a group. And then from 11:30 to 1:30, that's normally when I'll do the bulk of my research. If I'm reading a brief, either I'm reading because the brief is new, so I'm really getting into the brief, or I'm reading because I'm getting ready to start drafting, or I'm reading because I am getting ready for a consultation, or I'm reading because I need to answer an email in the list of emails that I read the hour before. So that is usually the time frame, that the time block that I will allow myself to read. And that's when I'll do outlining, preparation, research, things that don't require exclusive focus. So that's when that first half of my day, while I'm still fresh and I'm still very much energetic, I get my second half of the day, and I'll explain. But I do like that first half of the day to just be for these things. And then 1:30 to 2, that's usually lunch. And then from 2:15 to 4:30 or 5, that is when I get into the deep focus, deep concentration work. So that is the bulk of time that I dedicate to drafting, to typing out a draft, to doing that first draft, to re-editing a second draft. But that is when I do my focused work. The reason why this is at the second half of the day is because most times after I do this, I'm required to work late. So the time block doesn't usually go from like 2:15 to 4:30. I usually will exceed that time, but that's easier for me to take that 1-2 hour break at home and then get back into the swing of things. So that's why my drafting and deep focus work is done towards the end of the day. Now, if you are a student and you're wondering how you can do this, I'd say, for example, especially if it's like test week or just in general, your day-to-day activities, you would say from, let's say you wake up at 7, so you'll say from 7 o'clock until 10, that's when I wake up, I journal, I make my food, I go on social media, I call my family. That's when you can make your calls and maybe watch a series or watch a YouTube video. And then you can say from about 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock, that's when you do your class preparation. So let's say you've got afternoon classes. So that's when you just read before class, you look at the outcomes, you print out your slides, you look at the chapter that you'll be focusing on that day, or you look at your notes from a previous lesson, if it's still ongoing. And then you can say, for example, from 1 until 4, that's when you've got classes. And then from 5 until 7, that's like your chill time. From 7 until 10, that's when you're making summaries, you're making notes, you're looking at the material that you did the previous day, etc., etc. So that's how you can do it. But for me, I then stop working and then I take about a 2-hour break. I try to do this even if I know I'm working until the wee hours of the morning. I do like to take that break between 4:30 and 6:30, make my supper, play with my dog, take my dog for a walk, look at social media or YouTube, or watch a series or cook, just my downtime. And then usually the time block between 6 and 9, 6 and 10, 6 and 1 a.m., 6 and 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. sometimes, that time block will be for continued deep focus. So that's what strategic time blocking does for you, and it just allows you to focus on your high impact work. So you block out that time period and you do those things. And then the second time management technique or time management tool that I have is called the Eisenhower matrix. It is defined or described as a time management tool that helps you to organize and prioritize your tasks by urgency and importance. Now, I know I'm not the only one with this, where you have so much to do that you don't know what to do first and what to prioritize first, and sometimes it's just like everything seems like it's important. And the main aim of this, like I said, is to prioritize your to-do list, but it also helps you to determine which tasks to tackle first, and it helps increase your productivity. So basically, the Eisenhower matrix, you divide it into what is called 4 quadrants. The first quadrant you title important and urgent. The second quadrant, important and not urgent. The third quadrant, not important but urgent. And then the final 4th quadrant, not urgent and not important. Now, I will give you an example of mine today. I'll try and either scan it for you guys, or I'll just show you with what I had to do today. So let's say, for example, you need to respond to an email, but it's not necessarily something that is urgent, although it is important. So you would put that under not urgent but important. Some things need for you to draft, but the deadline is not until, let's say, for example, the following week or in 2 weeks. And so that is important, but that is not urgent. But some things are really urgent and important, such as deadlines that you have that day or that week, or calls that you need to make that day, follow-ups that you need to make that day. Those things are important and urgent. I'll give you an example of what's on my list. So I'm currently getting ready for a trial, and I need to do specific things for this trial, and these are all important, and there's certain things about that preparation that are important for this week. So there's things that need to be done next week, the following weeks from now on, but there's certain things that are required for this week. So those things are important and they're urgent. And then the third quadrant, I have got some forms to fill in, and I need to send those off, but that's not important, but it is rather urgent, right? So, nothing will happen if I don't fill in those forms, but I would like to. And so that's something that I need to get done this week. And then the fourth quadrant, not urgent, not important. An example of what I put on my list is that I need to email customer care for ASOS. I ordered some clothes for work and they got stuck at customs. I don't know what happened, but the order got destroyed and now I want my money back. The company is asking that I email ASOS, and it's just this whole stuff. Now, because it is work clothes and that is something that I was going to maybe deduct for my taxes, it's something that I need to do, but it's not necessarily important, nor is it urgent. It's just something I need to do. So when you do this Eisenhower matrix, it helps you look at what things do I need to get started on right now, right this minute, today, and what things can wait, let's say, for example, until Friday, or what things can wait until this weekend, or what things can wait until I'm not so pressed for time. And so once you've done your strategic time blocking, you know that, this is how I structure my day. Then you get into the nitty-gritty of what things do I need to do today. So if I have a lot of matters that are pressing, I need to know which deadline is the closest, which thing do I need to submit the earliest. And so I'll put whatever that is in my time blocking. So let's say, for example, I've got a matter called YouTube versus Amazon, and then I've got another matter called ASOS versus Loyiso. And so let's say ASOS versus Loyiso is still in its early stages. I just need to read for it and prepare for the consultation. That is important, but that's not urgent. Let's say the consultation is next week, so I might need to start reading for that on Thursday, and maybe do some notes of make some email follow-ups with the attorney on Friday. So ASOS versus Loyiso will be on my important but not urgent list. But let's say with YouTube versus Amazon, the deadline for the draft is on a Thursday, and I still need to get some more information and also do some research on some case law that is applicable to the case. So today, what is urgent and important for me will be finding that case law, will be finding out that information, and then tomorrow, what will be urgent and important will be incorporating all that information into the draft and sending it off to the attorney. So that way you are productive, you know what you need to do for that day, and you're not flailing about, overwhelmed by every single thing that you need to do and not knowing what to do when. This comes in handy if you're a student when you have got, let's say, for example, it's test week and you just don't know what to focus on first, or test week is the following week. So some modules you are a bit further along with preparation, and then other modules you're not that further along. And so urgent and important today will be those modules that you still need to catch up on, instead of feeling like, oh my gosh, there's just so much pressure, I don't know whether I need to summarize these notes or start cramming this subject. So this helps you look at what is actually urgent and important today, not this week, today. So that's how the Eisenhower matrix helps you. And then finally, the Pomodoro technique. Now, the Pomodoro technique is described as focused work sessions with frequent short breaks to promote sustained concentration and stave off mental fatigue. The Pomodoro technique helps you to break down complex projects, and it also helps you to stave off distractions so that they don't derail your workday. Now, I've condensed it into specific steps. Again, I'll try and scan those in so that I can show you. But basically, step 1, you pick your task. So because you will have done your strategic time blocking, you know that, okay, this is my block for focused work, cramming, studying, deep focus. And then because you did your Eisenhower matrix, you know that today I'm focusing on property law. I'll focus on tax tomorrow. I'll focus on law of persons the day thereafter, but today I'm focusing on property law. You've done your notes, you were preparing for class, and now you just need to do your memorization, and then you set a timer. Usually the Pomodoro technique, if you stick to it exclusively, it's a 25-minute timer, but for me 25 minutes is just too short, so I normally will do 30 minutes or an hour. And then in that 30 minutes or in that hour, you do that specific task. And then when the timer rings, you take a break for 5 minutes, or you take a break for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, right? And then step 4, you repeat. For me personally, in my practice, how I use the Pomodoro technique is I'll set an hour 30-minute timer or an hour timer, and then I'll read the brief, or I'll read the case, or I'll read what I have drafted the previous day or that particular day. And then when the timer rings, I'll take the break, and then I'll get back into it. I'll read some more, or I'll read again, or I'll draft again. And so that helps you to keep going for longer, rather than this thing that we tend to do where you sit on a chair and you try cramming the work, or you try reading the brief for 4 hours straight. And then when you get up, your body does not want to do it anymore. It's too tired, but you need to keep going. And that's when we start forcing ourselves to do things that our bodies are too tired to do. That's when we start bringing on burnout. That's when we start just stressing our bodies unnecessarily. If you've got an Apple Watch, you know how it always asks you to stand up every hour. That's one of the benefits. Your mind gets to just have a breather, and then you get back into the work again. From a professional standpoint, this is also really helpful, because sometimes if you've been sitting looking at the same document over and over and over, it can get really stagnant and boring. Whereas if you get up, you come back with fresh eyes, and you can actually see new things. You can actually catch something, it's, some point of evidence or some point of law, or start to see how a case is applicable in a different way, or catch a mistake if you're looking at your drafts. So it just helps you keep refreshed. You can actually keep going for longer if you just keep doing that. So those are the 3 techniques that I use, and over time these become no-brainers. You don't even think about them. At the start of your week on Monday, you look at everything that you need to do that week. You break it down into different days, and then you break those days down into particular time blocks, and you block out specific hours to do specific things. At the start of your day, you look at what is urgent that day, what is not urgent, what needs your attention. You prioritize your tasks, and then you sit down and you get to doing it. And really and truly, these really, really help, because I know certain people who just come in on a week and they wing it. I used to wing it in varsity until it just was not sustainable. At some point, I was working a job. I was a waitress at some point, and then I was also a tutor, and then I worked at a music store, and then I was in student leadership. And so I really had to take a hold of my time, because I just could not wing it anymore. And so ever since then, on and off, I've been trying different techniques, different things, but really, really prioritizing being able to manage my time. So I'm really glad that you guys did ask that of me. I've explained the Pomodoro technique in the reading tips video that I've done. I'll try and link that below. But yeah, those are the time management tips that I have. As I said, in my personal life, I really could do with some time management tips. But where my professional life is concerned, I don't play. Because in law, time is money. Okay? So I really hope that those have helped you. Please let me know in the comments which have helped you the most. Thank you so much as ever for watching, guys. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.
You say take me on a treasure hunt. I long for something new. Have you heard the fairies when they sing and dance?